Welcome to Happy Hour. I'm Crystal and thank you for hanging out with me. Today, I am once again drinking coffee with creme de menthe. I mentioned this before. Here's the bottle. There's nothing new to talk about. I'm really just trying to get rid of it. It's taking up space in my liquor shelf. Anyway, today I have for you my January favorites, empties, stuff I didn't like, etc. It's gonna be kind of a long video, so I'm just gonna get started. Okay, so the first thing that I've got here is this Murad clarifying mask. This mask has sulfur in it, and for some reason my skin has been extra acne prone the last little while, so this has been a lifesaver for me this month. It's really just made it so that I don't look 15 anymore, which is awesome because I am twice that old, if not more. I don't even know, because I'm not good at math. But this stuff has made me feel like a grown-up again. And in line with that, I also have this Murad, I don't know if it's hard to see that, this Acne Spot Fast Fix, which is 3.5% benzoyl peroxide. So usually what I will do with this is I wash my face, I do my toner and eye cream because I don't put this under my eyes, and then I will put this on my acne spots, and it again helps get rid of them and helps make me feel like a grown-up. I swear, I'm sure all of you out there who are adults and you still have acne, you can understand. It's just one of those things that it's I already know I don't look my age, which I'm not complaining about that. I know that's a blessing, and down the road I'm really gonna love it, when I'm in my 40s and 50s and people hopefully think I'm, I don't know, in my 20s and 30s, they think I'm in my teens and 20s now. I'm hoping that continues. That being said, I don't want the acne that goes along with being a teenager. No one wants that. You don't want it when you're a teenager. Even when you're a little kid, it's not like you're all, I want to be a teenager with acne. You don't. No one says that. You don't want acne. It's just a pain in the ass. So you gotta try to combat it however you can. Yeah, so that's that. Anyway, my third, the skincare product that I've been loving is my Take a Deep Breath SPF 30 from Philosophy. This is that moisturizer I talked about in my Birchbox haul. No, my skincare haul. This is really lightweight, but it's still SPF 30, which I wear SPF year-round. Moving on to, I'm a little late to the game on this. This is the Becca Backlit Priming Filter. So this is essentially a radiant primer. I am not going to squirt this out and show it on my skin because first of all, you guys have probably seen that, and second of all, this shit is like gold to me. This is reasonably expensive, but I don't actually use it under foundation that much. I use it just by itself. I like to use on days where I'm not wearing makeup, or if I'm just gonna do mascara and lipstick or something like that, I prefer to wear a radiant primer on top of my moisturizer just to kind of, I don't know, make me feel glowy like a unicorn, or like I just stepped out of the gay club. Either way, whatever you want to call it, that's how I like to feel. So the next thing is just in a random sifter jar, but this is actually the RCMA Loose Setting Powder. It's a translucent powder. I'll take off this lid here. You can kind of see a little bit of it. I don't want to spill it anywhere. So this stuff is actually really, you can't just get it at a random store. You have to kind of put some effort into getting it. I got this stuff at, I'm looking at the bottom of this sifter because I got it at the same place. It's from the Friends Beauty Supply, which we don't have here in Salt Lake. It's that store is actually located in Los Angeles, I think. They also have an online store, which is where I got this from and where I got the RCMA powder from. So RCMA is a really, really awesome powder, and a lot of makeup artists actually use it, and that's how I found out about it. I got turned onto it by watching another YouTuber who was talking about it, and she's a makeup artist, and I was like, well, if you can just get that and you don't have to be a makeup artist to buy it, I'm gonna try it out. Prior to using this stuff, I was actually using the Tarte Smooth Operator, which I really like a lot, but this is so much more affordable, and it's so similar that, sorry Tarte, you lost that battle with me. but I do love Tarte, like a lot. I love it a lot. Just, I prefer this setting powder. Next thing I'm going to talk about is this Urban Decay Afterglow blush. I got this in the color Score, which looks, maybe not on camera, but in person, looks, the color on the back of the package looks really, really orange. But I swatched it in store when I got it, and even on in the pan, it looks darker than it actually comes out. So I'll put it on my hand, you can kind of see it, but you blend it out and it just looks really pretty. It's right, it's having a hard time showing up, but it looks gorgeous on the skin, like on my face. It's not too dark. I have a hard time with some blushes, look like, I have a little bit of a heavy hand, so I have a hard time applying them in a way that doesn't make it look like I have clown cheeks. So I like blushes that are really pigmented but don't come off, like, you don't pick them up very, like, they don't cling really hard, so you don't get so much pigmentation that it looks like, ooh, you have blush on and you didn't blend it well either, honey. Because sometimes I'm in a hurry and my blending's not that great. You know, it's one of those things that you get to the office and at home it looks okay. Get in the car and I'm all, not great. So I blend a little with my hands and then I get to the office and I blend some more. Anyway, this I don't have to do that with because it's awesome. And I apply it with, this brush is dirty, so sorry about that. But this is one of my favorite brushes. I just got this sometime in January. I don't remember what. Most of these things that I'm pointing out, like about 50% of them I just got in January. So it's a little unfair to call them favorites, I think, but they were in this month. So this is the Real Techniques blush brush. And what I like about this brush is you can see the brush part of it. I like the feeling of it. It's really soft, it's nice and domed, and this brush both you can apply really easily and blend all with one brush. Because usually, like, I have other blush brushes that are they're like the angled ones, and they're a little bit difficult to blend with. So I have to, like, I will often go in with a kabuki and like kind of blend it out. But this one I can just do it all at once, and it's actually made that whole blending at the office problem a little bit better. So I really like this brush. I really like it in that blush. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did. Next up is my rediscovered love. This is a Smashbox Cream eyeshadow. This is the Limitless 15-hour wear cream shadow in the color Riches. So this is a typical, like, it's a bronzy shade. Someone could come into my makeup collection and see, and they would be like, all of your eyeshadows are the same shade, like outside of palettes, but all the stuff that I buy individually, I buy a lot of bronzy or champagne-y type colors because they're really easy. I know they're neutral, so they are pretty office friendly and they're really easy to do. It's easy to blend them all, but this cream one, what I really like about this is that when I am in a hurry, this stuff, and I usually use a brush with it, but I'm gonna stick it so you can see it on my finger there. It's really beautiful, and then let me get a little bit more to like show you guys what it looks like. It's really beautiful just on the lid. It's right here. Oh, there you go. So you can see in the different light, like, it's very shiny, it's really pretty, and it's one of those things that I just love because since it's a cream shadow, I don't actually have to, if I don't have the time, I don't have to use a primer with it, which is really nice because my eyelids are like the only part of my entire face that gets oily on a regular basis. Maybe it's because it like touches itself or whatever. I don't really have an explanation, but it gets oily. I can't use a lot of shadow without a primer, so anytime I can find one that I can, it's really awesome. And like I said, this is renewed because I've had this shadow for years. I've used plenty of it. Like, there's a fair dent in there. It probably is difficult to tell, but I've used plenty of it, and I just, you know, I'll forget about it. Like, I move and it gets packed and I forget about it, and then I come back to it. I love it every time. It's just so great. On to my empties and misses for this month. So some of these things, it's an accumulate, like the misses, it's kind of an accumulation. Okay, so some of these misses I've been trying out for a while, and God bless them, just didn't work out. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about as a miss is this Revlon Color Stay Normal to Dry Skin foundation in 150 Buff. So it's supposed to be a 24-hour foundation. It actually lasts a pretty good amount of time. But the problem with this that I had is the scent of it is just like, it smells, it's hard to describe, but it's almost like it smells like one of those shitty public bathroom hand soaps that you only use because you just went to the restroom and you need to use something and you don't have hand sanitizer in your bag, so you have to use that soap, and that's what this smells like to me. And so I tried it probably 3 or 4 times, could not get over the scent, because like it just, my face just to me smelled like it all day, like the whole time. And I didn't wear, that's a misnomer, I did not wear it all day. I probably wore it for an hour or two at a time. I don't like to get a new foundation and just automatically wear it like to work or something. I prefer to wear it separately, like over the weekend, to find out what I think of it, if it's really gonna work, if I need to like mix it with something, etc. I couldn't get through more than a couple of hours with this. It just smelled too soapy and too like nauseating to me, basically. I also don't love that it doesn't have a pump. Like, this is 2016. I bought this in 2015 because I've had it for a couple of months. You should have a pump by now. Sorry, like, I hate to be mean. I know it's a drugstore foundation and they don't often come with pumps. But if you came with a pump and didn't smell so bad, one of those two things probably would have won me over, because I do have other drugstore foundations that don't have a pump, but they don't smell that bad, so I put up with them. Anyway, this is a fail for me. I'm gonna see if like maybe one of my sisters wants it, because not everybody's, some people are more sensitive to scents than others, obviously, and I'm just sensitive to it, so I'm just over it. I totally forgot to mention one of my favorites, so we're just get back to favorites for a second. Do you like the disorganization of this video? So this other favorite that I have is this. It's a Hot Tools Professional 1-inch barrel curling iron. I just got this maybe a week ago because I had a Conair, like really old, probably I've had it for 10-ish years, 1-inch barrel. And it started getting to the point that, so I mentioned before, I have really fine hair, like really, really fine hair. And that thing was getting to the point that I could crank it up supposedly to whatever its highest heat setting is. I don't know what it is because I threw that thing away and I don't remember. Anyway, I cranked the heat up and it still was like not doing a good job of curling. Do you like how I'm just gonna hold this in my face? Ugh, God, sometimes I don't like myself. Anyway, so I would crank it up as high as I could and it just wasn't working. Like, it just was not cooperating. So I decided to bite the bullet, get rid of it and replace it, but I decided to upgrade for 2 reasons. One of which was at the Ulta I was at the time, I couldn't find that. But I also decided, so this is a ceramic barrel and my other one was just a standard steel or whatever, I don't know, whatever they're made out of 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I don't know, I don't even know when I bought it. But I decided to go with a ceramic barrel just because it's easier on your hair. And this has a temperature dial up to 430. It has a super long cord. Like, this is not a good way of showing you. The cord is probably 5 or 6 feet. So potentially it's taller than I am because I'm only 5'3". And then this little twisty bit is awesome. Like, normally it's just like, it's a twist, it's, you know, it'll be sticking in the end of your curling iron and then it's just the cord that will twist. This is actually part, I mean, I'm sure it's not part of the curling iron itself, but it's attached in a more secure fashion, so I'm less worried about it falling out. So anyway, I love this curling iron. It's what I did my hair with today, which, I don't know, hopefully you guys like. If not, then I don't know, don't buy that iron. Back onto my misses. So my next miss is this wee little palette. This is by Lorac, and it is their Marsala Skinny eyeshadow palette. Skinny, I assume, because it's a not a very big palette. So I got this at Nordstrom Rack. They had this one, and then they had either, I think it was called the black instead of Marsala. Anyway, I was really excited to try it because I looked at the colors inside, and it is really pretty. Like, look at those colors. You can see that I've tried quite a few. I've stuck my finger in this darker one here. No, I've also stuck a brush in that. It's not just my finger. I love these colors. I love the way these shadows feel. They're really pigmented. They do fall out a little bit, but the reason that this is a miss for me is that it irritates the shit out of my eyes. At first I thought it was just this red shade here, because I know that red shades, because of the way that they have to be made and the colors that have to be used to get it that red, can be irritating on people's eyes. So I thought, okay, so maybe the first time I used it, I did use that red shade, and I was like, maybe it's just the red, who knows. So I tried it with some of these other colors, because as you can see, as I mentioned from the stuff in my favorites, like a lot of these are colors that I really enjoy. But no matter what, every time I wore these colors, this palette, my eyes were just so bothered. And so I wear contact lenses. If something starts bothering my eyes, like, I am not very tolerant of keeping it on there, because inevitably it gets to the point that it irritates my contacts and my actual eyeballs instead of just the skin around it. And then I want to take my contacts out, and then I can't see, and that is not a great combination in a general sense. Seeing is more important than your eye makeup. So as much as I love these colors, I really did like this palette. My eyes are just too sensitive for it. So again, I'm gonna see if like I have a sister or a friend or somebody that will use this, because I just can't, sadly. I was really sad about it. I really wanted to love this palette. And like I said, I was very excited when I got it. It didn't work out. Okay, next in my, let's see, this is a combination of a miss and an empty. So this is one of those masks in my sheet mask haul. This is the one that I got from Target. So something about this mask was not happy on my skin. It stung, but not in like a, you know how like a lip plumper stings? It was not that kind of stinging. It was a stinging that was like, oh, I'm supposed to leave this mask on for 10 minutes. Can I last 10 minutes? What's that gonna do to my face? I did last 10 minutes. It was not great. I just won't be purchasing this again. I'm sad about that too, because it was a cheap mask, but it didn't work. On to just plain up plain up. I don't know what that means. Straight up empties. That's what I meant. I confused straight up and plain. Nice. Okay, so first of all is gonna be, this is a boring one. This is just a cotton round sleeve. This is by Whispers, and I go through these really fast. Like, I use at least 4 of these, because I use one in the morning for toner. So I used one in the morning for toner. Then at nighttime, when I get home, I use one on each eye to remove my eye makeup. And then after I wash my face at night, I use it for toner again. These I buy them in bulk at Costco. You can get like 1,000, I want to say, something like that. 1,000 for like cheap, like 10 or 15 bucks. So that's why I buy them there. I don't have an affinity for this brand other than they're cheap and at Costco. So my next empty is this bottle of my J'adore perfume, J'adore by Dior. And there's like, if I tried really hard, there's like 1 pump left in here. I own a lot of perfumes. Like, I probably have, like, normal size perfumes, I probably have like between 10 and 15 on my vanity. I love perfume, and I rotate through them on a daily basis. Oh my god, so I just almost threw that into the camera. That was gonna be a disaster. Don't play with the lid of this is the lesson that we just learned. I'm gonna set that thing down right now because I'm gonna kill something. So I like I said, I have between 10 and 15 perfumes on my vanity. I rotate through them on a daily basis, so I don't wear the same scent more than 1 day in a row. And again, it's because I just love perfume. I love it. I love the way it smells. I love the different options. I love spraying it in my hair, spraying it on my, you know, on my chest, like under my clothes, my pulse points. I just love it. So anyway, I finally finished this bottle of J'adore. I did replace it. I have another bottle of J'adore. This sells, the reason that I have so many is that I will find one that I love, and instead of sticking just with that, I find another one that I love, and I don't replace one that I loved with another one. I just add it to my list, and then it keeps growing and growing and growing, and then you end up with 15 perfumes on your vanity. So yeah, that's great. But in any case, I do love the J'adore scent. Like, I would recommend it if anybody's looking for a new scent. Like, test that one out. You can get it in Sephora and Ulta, and I'm sure on Christian Dior's website. I don't know. I've never purchased anything from it. I try not to go to the Dior website because you know what that means? Lots of money spent by me. Not good. Okay, so next up, I have this Pore Gone for Good sheet mask. There's a lot of sheet masks in here because I sheet mask several times a week, so there's a lot in here. Sorry about that. This actually still has some gunk left in it. I liked this mask. I would buy more masks of this brand, but if I remember right, it was a little on the more expensive side. It was, I want to say like $5 for this mask. So yeah, it did have a lot of stuff. It was, is the pore refining mask, so it's supposed to be really good, and I don't feel like it refined my pores, but again, I only used one, so maybe you're supposed to use several before you see the results. I don't know. I didn't buy several, but I did like it fine. This is the Glam Glow Super Mud Clearing Treatment. So this is, as you can see, it's in the white container because Glam Glow has a bunch of different colored containers that are all different thingies. This is the, I love the way this smells, which is weird because it smells like licorice. You can see it's almost gone, and I'll tell you why it's almost gone and not totally gone after we talk about the scent. So it smells like licorice-ish because it has licorice in it. I don't like black licorice, and I don't like things that are flavored like black licorice. Like Jaeger, fucking hate Jaeger. Like, that is the only thing that I can recall from an alcohol standpoint, from like a shot that I've ever spat out. I just don't like Jaeger at all. And a lot of it has to do with the licorice flavor. So I don't like those candies that taste like licorice, like whatever those are. You get them at Easter time. They look like large rabbit poops, in my opinion. I also don't like NyQuil, though I will take it when it comes down to it because, you know, when you're sick, you're sick. So the reason that this is almost empty is because this shit dries out. And so the frustrating thing is that if any of you have ever purchased a Glam Glow product before, you know that these things are expensive. This is a $69 mask. And it's only 1.2 ounces. So it's 1.2 ounces or 34 grams for $69. It's an expensive mask. So this mask, when you buy it, it says on the box, it tells you can get X number of full facial treatments or X number of spot treatments. So I was like, okay, because I spend so much money on this mask, I will probably mostly use it as a spot treatment. So that's what I tried to do. But it dries, like, I clamped this lid down so tight that I almost couldn't get it back open to try to keep it from drying out, and it just didn't work. It dries out so easily. I haven't had this problem with other Glam Glow masks that I had, so I think it's something to do with this particular one. But it, like, the last time I put this on, it was so hard to get it on my face because it was so borderline already dry. So I decided, okay, we are done. Sorry, Super Mud clearing treatment, we're breaking up. I did love this mask, but for the price and the fact that apparently you have to use it more quickly than I do, and I'm not saying I haven't had this mask for a super long time. It's probably been less than 6 months, and certainly I have not opened and used it as many applications as it said for my spot treatments. So I just can't justify it. I like it, but I'm not gonna repurchase this. Okay, next is my Kirkland brand daily facial towelettes. So these are, they claim they're extra large. They are a little bit bigger than other facial wipes that I've used. They have cucumber, chamomile flower extract, and aloe. They're paraben free, and mostly why I use these is, I mean, I use a facial wipe pretty much daily. These are, again, because you get them at Costco, you get like, I want to say 100. No, you get more than that. Why did I say 100? You get a lot of these in a box for, I want to say it's like $15 or something like that. So it's just more economical than almost any other face wipe. So I have these sheet masks here from this brand called Dermal. So I got these masks. This one is just a collagen essence mask, and then this one is a snake collagen essence mask. I don't know how to say that. I'm just going with snake because that's how it's spelled, is snake. Anyway, oh, and one of them just leaked on me. That's great. Yeah. So I got these off of Amazon. They were, again, it's similar to the ones that I did that haul on, the Innisfree ones. It was like $16 for 15 masks or something. And what I liked was that these are all supposed to be firming in some way. As you can see, I've used 2 of these. That's all I've used so far. But I'm going to give it more shot because I have like, I don't know, 13 or 14 left. But so far, I have not found that these are terribly firming, which is a little sad because I put snake, which I assume has actual snake something. Hopefully just venom. I hope it's not snake guts or something. But nonetheless, it's snake something or other. I put that on my face, and it does not appear to have firmed me. So I'm a little disappointed about that. I will continue to use them, but I probably won't repurchase when I run out of the remaining ones that I have left. Another thing that I used, so I got, this is from Alltech Dermatologist MD, depuff eye pads. So I got these in one of my beauty boxes a few months ago. I got 2 sets of them, so I decided to use, whoa, I just threw that on the floor. That's great. So I decided to use that package one day earlier this month because so the weather, the air gets like shit here. Then a storm comes in and blows that out, but because it's stormy, my sinuses react to that by being runny constantly. So like my nose will run, my eyes will run, everything will run. I get puffy. The pollution, obviously, that makes the air like shit does not help either. So basically, I feel like my eyes are just puffy all the time. I feel like they're puffy right now. So I like the idea of eye depuffing pads, but unfortunately, it could just be these. I could be just having a weird situation with these. I could not afterwards, so I used it one morning before work while I was like getting ready and running around. And, you know, it's like you're supposed to leave them on for 20 to 30 minutes or something. And so I put them on. I couldn't get any product to stick under my eyes afterwards, which, like, I have dark circles. Clearly I have puffiness that I'm trying to deal with. I don't need product to not stick to that stuff. See, I just spit on myself. I'm so worked up about this. I was using setting powder. I used a setting spray. Couldn't get it to stick. Like, I just looked like a mess. I got asked if I was sick that day when I was at work. Not pleasant. So the lesson learned there is, first of all, I am not going to use that second set that I have in my drawer before work. That's going to be like a weekend thing. And second, I may just not be a good candidate for iPads when it comes to those kinds of things. So we'll see how that goes. Needless to say, that particular brand that I can't remember, and like I said, I dropped it on the floor, I'm not going to be buying those. So I'm glad that I did not spend actual money on them. So the last thing that I have is the masks that I've used from that Innisfree haul. So I have used the strawberry one, the Biha one, which again, I still don't know how to say, but I'm just going with it, and the tea tree one. These masks, so I haven't used as many as you might have thought because I have been alternating. Like I showed you, I had 4 other sheet masks in here. This mask, by this, again, I'm just talking about the Innisfree masks. These masks I loved. Like, they really feel like they do a good job. I feel very moisturized when I use them. Genuinely, like, it leaves plenty of product on my face so I can just like pat it in afterwards. And then I feel really moisturized. It's really cooling. It feels nice on the skin. And then after I use them, I will put like just a facial oil over the top to kind of seal in the moisture that I just got and keep it in there overnight. So I really, really like them. I would highly recommend. Again, it's the Innisfree brand. I will link them below. Again, I will definitely repurchase those. So those I do give a thumbs up to. Anyway, that is the end of my January favorites, misses, and empties. Let me know what you guys liked this month, what you used up. I'm excited to see what you used. I would love to see your comments. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this if you like favorites / empties / misses videos. And until next time, thank you for hanging out with me, and I hope you guys have a great one. Bye.